Hi everyone, this is Marcus with DTF Station, and in this video, we will go over how to replace the motherboard in your Aries 113 UV printer. Note, before you begin the replacement procedure, make sure to perform a firmware export. This will ensure that you have your motherboard settings exported. If you do not have an export available, please contact DTF Station Tech Support for default firmware parameters. Now, gather the following supplies: your replacement motherboard, protective gloves, cable labels, tweezers, a pen, and a Phillips screwdriver. Now go ahead and turn your printer off from the back and remove the power cord. Take your Phillips screwdriver and remove these two screws. Once you pull out the power switch assembly, head to the other side and open this door panel. Locate this prong and pull it down in order to remove the door panel completely. Head to your motherboard and take note of the following cables. You will have to remove all of these cables before we are able to remove the motherboard. Screenshot this image now to use as a guide. We will label each cable using the cable labels, the corresponding number as you unplug each one. This first cable will be labeled 1. For this second cable, take your tweezers and remove some of the glue that is holding the cable in, then remove the cable and label it with the number 2. Use the same technique on this next cable and label it number 3. This next cable will be labeled number 4. This one will be labeled number 5. This one will be labeled number 6. This one will be labeled number 7. This one will be labeled number 8. This one will be labeled number 9. This one will be labeled number 10. Now that all the cables have been removed, get your Phillips screwdriver and remove these 4 screws. Now slowly remove the entire motherboard, but before completely removing, unplug this Ethernet cable and label it with the number 11. Now get your new replacement motherboard, first plug in the Ethernet cable, then place the motherboard into its correct position. Then use the 4 screws to secure it back into place. Now use the guide from earlier to plug each cable back into its correct position. Note, be careful for cable number 7 as it is a ribbon cable. These are a bit more fragile, so you need to be careful. The blue tape acts as a support, and the opposite side will have exposed contact teeth. Do not wiggle this cable in, line it up to the port, then firmly press in with even pressure across the entire ribbon cable. Now move on to plugging in the rest of the cables. Once complete, place the power switch assembly back into place and secure it in with the 2 screws you removed earlier. Now plug in the power cable again and turn the power switch on. Look closely at this part of the motherboard as the printer is powering on. You should see green lights light up here. If you see any red lights, immediately turn the printer off and check that all your cables are connected properly. When done correctly, you should get green lights. If you continue to get red lights, go ahead and contact DTF Station Tech Support for further instructions. Once you get green lights, which confirms that the replacement has been done correctly, go ahead and close up this back panel. Then re-import your firmware by going into Hosensoft. Go to Advanced up top, type in your password, which will be 111111. Then click Confirm. Here in this new window, click on Firmware. Then click Import Firmware Configuration and import the firmware you exported earlier. If you are importing default firmware, Please refer to the parameter guide that came with the printer, or contact DTF Station technicians to guide you to set up the proper capping station and wiper blade height. Alright, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.